Everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and this is another 3 in the morning episode where I'm crawling out of bed half asleep because they release a hero balance adjustment in the middle of the night. But I've got to do it. I can't sleep. I can't sleep if I don't look. I saw the notification and I just had to get up. You know, I was sitting there in bed. I had my rainy mood on. I had my candle lit. I was just so comfy. But we've got to read this, and the first thing I see is Corvus, so let's hope there's some juicy bits in here. So preview part 1. This is where they said they're doing these once a month, I believe. This is scheduled for October 31st, so this is not for another 30 days. So the purpose of the hero balance adjustment that is scheduled for October 31st is to create a more pleasant game environment for our heirs. We have confirmed that there are certain heroes who greatly delay the progress of PvP matches. We believe that this is a great disparity from what Epic 7 is all about, from the fierce battle in each turn that we had envisioned for our players. Therefore, we would like to correct this disparity through hero balance adjustment. Okay, so Corvus. We all know what Corvus did, at least. If you didn't know specifically what he did, you know what he did, right? Like, he healed himself, he stunned your whole team. That's basically it. So before Shield Slam was a 75% chance to transfer debuffs, and now it's going to be a 75% chance to transfer debuffs as it was before, and when the caster is enraged, damage dealt increases, and target is stunned for 1 turn. Okay, so they're latching that onto a skill 1 instead of the skill 3, so I'm guessing they're going to change how his fighting spirit and berserk works. So Mace Rate is attack all enemies, combat readiness reduction by 30%. When it's down to 0, it stuns. When the caster is enraged, combat readiness is doubled. Damage dealt proportionate to caster's defense. Okay, so that's the same now, right? Except it's when the caster is enraged. And then Fury's Advent, I'm guessing this is the big change here. So it says strengthen the caster with fighting spirit, making the caster enraged for 3 turns, for recovering health and granting an extra turn. Begins the first battle with 50 fighting spirit, acquires 10 fighting spirit when attacked. Okay, so I'm not really good at visualizing stuff like this. Like, I'm really not good at this sort of thing. The one thing I notice is this is only defense, and I think that was like a 60% defense buff, and now it's going to be a defense and ER buff, so that's, I think, a slight nerf, but still good. It also consumes 100 fighting spirit instead of 50. You also start the battle with 50, so the first one you hit is going to be the same to hit as the other one. Actually easier, because this one is 30 fighting spirit instead of 10, right? So the first is going to be easier to get, but after that, he's going to be a little worse. So again, I'm not the best at understanding stuff like this. Like, I'm not a very good read and then understand what it's going to do, especially when fighting spirit and all these shenanigans are involved. But the looks of things, let's actually read this. Let's read their explanation. It's probably going to do it better than what I did. So the existing Corvus was designed to maintain a high defense using the skill and to subdue the enemy after recovery. If Corvus is fighting against a number of heroes alone, the enemy does not deal more than a set amount of damage. It's hard for him to be defeated. Yep. The purpose of this adjustment is to maintain his recovery ability and the skill enhancement early in the battle and to lessen the problem that has occurred. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. So to resolve this issue, we have raised the fighting spirit that must be consumed from 50 to 100. Perfect. Okay, that's exactly what I was expecting. So they're also changing Fury's Advent a little bit. So most buffs and debuffs in Epic 7 are marked with icons and are affected by various battle rules. However, unlike other effects, Corvus's skill enhancing effect was not constrained to these rules and therefore undermined the uniformity of the game's battle rules. Therefore, through this adjustment, we plan to change the existing skill description to act similar to the current skill enhanced system. Therefore, the Rage effect will replace the existing skill enhancing effects. Rage effect will enhance both Shield Slam and Mace Rate, as well as increase both defense and effect resistance by 30%. The 60 defense increase has been removed. That has been replaced by the rage effect. Okay. Geez. So that's a lot of stuff. So this is something I'm kind of wondering right now. So it says, following the adjustment of Corvus, players will be allowed to recall the hero. So we're going to be able to recall Corvus. So do I 15 Corvus at this point and use him until he's nerfed and then get my Molagora back? I want to, but I'm absolutely terrified that they're going to be like, actually, we're not going to change Corvus and leave him. They're going to leave him as it is, and then I'll be stuck with a plus 15 Corvus. So I'm not sure what to do about this situation. I'm also not sure what to think about this nerf. I think thematically it works. It keeps the same idea of how they wanted Corvus to be used. I also think it is detrimental to the game the way he was. I don't think that's fun to play against. I don't think it's necessarily fun to use. Actually, it's really fun to use. But all in all, I think he's intentionally going to be doing the same things. He's just not like a one-stop solo everything machine. So I do like this. I do like this a lot. The only problem I have with this situation is he was accessible. And that scares me that they're specifically targeting the stuff that's accessible. Like, it's one of the things I've got to personally play with that was overpowered, you know? Like, I don't get to play with a Vildred. I don't get to play with MLCC. I don't get to play with ML Carbon, for the love of me. Like, didn't even get to play with that. I don't get to play with Chloe or Ruel or Ken, you know? I don't get to play with any of these units. The only one I get to handle seem to be the ones that always get nerfed, just like Clury, just like Corvus, just like Montmorency in a month from now. So that worries me. You know, these are the ones that people have access to. So the people who don't have the really ridiculous units do get something like that to play with. I'm not saying Corvus doesn't need a nerf, because he absolutely does. I'm just worried they're only going to nerf Corvus, and they're only going to nerf the ones that are accessible. So the ones that aren't are the ones that are already a problem, and now they're exponentially more of a problem because of the answers are gone. So just my little 2 cents right there. Anyways, let me know if you think I should plus 15 Corvus. I'm seriously considering it. There's no way they take this back, right? There's no way they say players will be allowed to recall and then just like don't do it, right? There's no way. Following the balance adjustment that occurred, we have monitored both PvE content as well as PvP content, and I've confirmed that the over-reliance on certain 5-star Moonlight heroes has decreased. No, buddy, no they haven't. Are you serious? Following the balance adjustment that occurred on 9.5, we have monitored both PvE content as well as PvP content and have confirmed that the over-reliance of certain 5-star Moonlight heroes has decreased, while the performance for Covenant heroes has increased. No, you don't get to say that. That's not true. There's no way that's true. Everybody has their MLs now. And not only that, but they got to pick the best ML. So every single team is like 3 ML5s now, and they're all flipping ML Ken, ML Vildred, and like Ruel. Like, that's not true. That's total. There's no way that's true. That's ridiculous. I super don't agree with that. There's no way that is true. There is 0% chance that we're using less Moonlights after a trade-in. There's no way. There's no way. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're lying. Anyway, list of heroes that will be buffed. Kisei and Tenebria. This is very interesting to me because I don't think Kisei should have been on the list. Kisei is somebody who is still fantastic. She's really great in Wyvern. She's perfect for Kayron. She's just an overall solid character. She's not overpowered by any stretch of the imagination, but she is still very, very good. That said, Sigrid is not so great right now. Chloe is not so great right now. Just 2 specific water units that share the same role as Kisei. So that's kind of surprising to me that they would do Kisei. I guess people really like Kisei. I'm not arguing. I will not be sad about a buff for Hisei. I'm just kind of surprised they chose her instead of one of the others. And that's specifically just water units I was thinking of. There's Charlotte. That would have been a fantastic choice too. As for fire units, Tenebria again. They're going for a double dip into Tenebria instead of my waifu Araminta. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Just keep doing Tenebria. Make her good enough, and then come back to me. Come back to me and come back to Araminta and give her an exclusive equipment and let us have fun with that. As for the 4-star covenants, they're doing Rin and Dominiel, which is very exciting for me. I love Rin's skill set. I think she's fantastic. I have her +9, I think, so that's really exciting. As for Dominiel, I'm not sure what they can do to her. I'm going to have to look at all these units and kind of talk through them with you folks in another video when I can think sometime. So Dominiel is really fun. She's got a great design. I love her skill animation, but overall she just doesn't seem too useful as it is. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do to her. Also, I have a +7 or so Kisei too. So 2 of those 4 units so far I'm heavily Mulla invested into. 5-star Moonlight is Specimen Says, and I'm guessing every single comment under this scroll window is, what the hell? Why did you not buff ML Ravi, you idiot? I'm guessing that's basically every single comment down there. Specimen Says needs a buff. It's true. It's true. It's true. Specimen Says needs a buff. And I'm pretty happy for this. I don't know what he's gonna do. I've wanted Says for a while. I think he's got a pretty cool skill set, and I think he's looks pretty fun to use. So everybody that was crying that they got Says, I hope it's your time to shine, and I hope you get to body some people with spec Says. I do think it is pretty surprising to me because I thought they said they didn't want to buff Says because he was exceptional at future content. Or did they say they wanted to be careful about it because of that? I'm not sure. But either way, I was kind of expecting this. I was actually expecting Ravi. Not that I think Ravi needs a buff, but just so many people are complaining about it, I kind of expected it. As for 4-star Moonlights, Acid and Champion Zerato, 2 newer-ish units, which is kind of surprising. I would love to see Champion Zerato get a pretty hefty base stat boost. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. And I'm not sure what they're going to do with Acid, though. But keep in mind, whatever they do to Acid has huge potential. Acid has insanely high base speed. I don't know exactly what he is, but I feel like he's in the 120s. And that is dangerous. Anytime you give somebody that high of base speed, he can have huge potential to do some insane things. So really excited to see what he does. And also, I just got Zerato yesterday, so that's exciting. And the most exciting of everything here is our girl in the middle, Arrowell. I've 6-starred Arrowell. I've played with her. She's atrocious, quite possibly one of the worst characters in the game, and I'm so excited for her to be buffed. I hope she's usable. I really do. But what kind of worries me about this is I think with 3 stars, they want to make them not so good so they can make their specialty change much better. So I feel like these 3 characters aren't going to be exceptional until they get their spec change. So they'll probably get a mini buff here. They'll probably be like maybe a little bit useful, but probably not. And then in the future, they'll get their spec change and then they'll be fantastic. That's my prediction for those 3. Either way, I will be +15 Arrowell and protecting her with all my heart. Mursa's also hilarious too. I hope Mursa just starts killing people. It'll be really fun. Awesome. So that's really cool. ML Ravi buff or Riot? Why no ML Ravi buff? Please buff ML Ravi. ML Ravi buff or Riot? ML Ravi buff. Where is ML Ravi? Oh my god, please buff ML Ravi. Please buff ML Ravi. Jesus. I don't know what I expected. Wow, I don't have Acid. That's really sad. I just realized that. I don't have Acid. Okay, so that's cool. This is also part 1, by the way. Part 2 is going to be most likely the descriptions of all their changes. I'm gonna hit F5 just to see if there's anything, because that would be really dumb of me if they put that out and I didn't notice. They didn't. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I'm a little groggy, but I can't help it. It's 3 in the morning. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm sorry. but I'm really excited to share this with you, and I'm really excited to try some of these units out. And seeing those 3-star buffs just like makes me so happy because I can build them now, right? We can build them. We can legitimately build any 3-star without too much problem. There's a little bit of problem with Catalyst, but we can safely plus 15 any single 3-star to try them out. So even just like little teensy tiny bits of boost to 3-stars like Airwell, I'm going to be absolutely pumped about. So let me know in the comments below what you think about these changes and who you're hoping to get buffed that isn't ML Ravi, because I'd really like to know. Anyways, have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.